I would like to apologize on behalf of my industry. We have been telling you bad advice about passwords for the past 30 years. See, we've been trying to solve the problem by blaming the people. The solution everybody was pushing was mathematically sound, and human nature just needed to get with the times. You don't need to be a rocket surgeon to realize the problem with this approach. And in the last 10 years, the thought leaders in securities have started to figure it out too. I have good news. There's some easy practices you can do that will help your security immensely and makes it much easier to manage all those passwords. It basically boils down to remembering only a single password. If you want to skip all the history and the whys and jump straight to the, okay, fine, what do I do? Find the indicator later in this video called the answer. You can also find a link now. Okay. To paraphrase a comic I saw in the 90s, I wish everyone would renounce violence. Then I could conquer the whole stupid planet with a butter knife. So, computers started with perfect trust. It was just university professors and postdocs that already knew each other. There was no need for security because nobody else would do anything wrong to anyone else. There was no need for security because nobody would do anything wrong to anybody else. When the internet became big enough that people couldn't trust each other, the easiest ways to prevent people from doing wrong things was to eliminate their anonymity and lock each person's identity with a secret that only they and the computer knew, and the password was born. As things progressed and more important things were put on computers, the password became more and more important. It was the single gatekeeper between your valuables and the ravenous hordes of criminals trying to steal them. Services started to make the password more resistant to guessing and wanted you to change them all the time, and sometimes even wanted more secrets like your mother's maiden name or your fingerprint. Each company or service thought of themselves as the only important thing in your life worth protecting and wanted their own password. And these are good considerations, logically and mathematically supported, but the end result is that to live in our world, you now have to have a password for everything, and sometimes multiple passwords for each. And you are not made to remember passwords. Remembering passwords is nobody's purpose in life. The people designing authentication systems implicitly expect you to do things you're bad at. Remembering lots of complicated strings of numbers, symbols, and letters, being truly random, because people are a lot more predictable than they realize, and doing complicated math. And you do the best you can, but you feel guilty because you cannot keep up. You reuse passwords for different services. You use words and just substitute maybe a 4 for an A. Maybe you have a little trick where you add LI on the end of your regular password when you log into LinkedIn. I have a hard truth for you. Right here and right now, it doesn't work. Your strategies to solve this impossible problem reduce most of the expected value that the mathematical theory promises because everybody else does the same strategies, and the people who guess passwords for a living know those tricks and try your password with those tricks, and it sometimes works. The best way out is to flip the problem on its head. Don't even try. Reject the narrative. Let's talk about how. You know what's good at those things? The true randomness and the remembering of long strings and the complicated math? Computers! For some of you, maybe this is your trick. You've got an Excel file with every password in it, but you feel nervous because it was all in one place, and if anyone got that list, you'd be in trouble. And you'd be right. You would be in trouble.